Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Ashley Avis podcast. Today on the show, I'm going to be telling you about the two books I tell all of my clients to read. I don't tell them to read it just because I think they're good, they're funny, they have captivating stories. I tell them to read these two books because they will help them up level their business. And it all starts with the mindset. Okay, so before I get into it, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my taste in books because I do like reading. I don't have a ton of time to read, but I do like to spend about like 10 to 15 minutes before bed or when I wake up in the morning and nobody's awake yet, just like picking up a book and reading and getting a nice idea in my head. So, back when I picked up these two books, I was in my first year of business, headed into my second year of business. And I was reading other books like Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, which I loved. I read that book 3 times now. Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I read that in 2020. And then right after, I read Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. And those books I love. So if you've read those books and loved them, then hey, we probably have similar taste in books. So when I recommend these two books that were game changers for me, for my business, headed from year 1 to year 2, I feel like, you know what, you're going to want to pick them up too. You're going to enjoy them. You're going to get a lot out of them. Okay. So these two books were written by female coaches. Okay. That's your little sneak, okay? When I read the first book, which I highly recommend reading them in the same order I did. So when you read the first book, it tripled my income. The month I read it, it tripled my income, okay? The second book just allowed me to expand my mind and take me to a new place where I knew that my potential was a lot higher than I had ever imagined. And I want you all to believe that too. So in just a second, I'm going to tell you the two books.
You're listening to the Ashley Avis podcast, the place to be for female entrepreneurs who want to attract more clients to their business and sign them with ease. Around here, we're chatting about branding, Instagram and social media strategy, web design tips, email marketing, sales mastery, and so much more. I've got guests who can't wait to share their expert advice and help you grow the business of your dreams. Subscribe and tune in every Tuesday with a notepad and be ready for actionable advice that you can implement today. Let's do this.
Okay, so the first book that I recommend all my clients read is You're a Badass at Making Money by the hilarious Jen Sincero. So Jen Sincero is the famous author of You Are a Badass. It is that yellow book with the titles right on the cover. You've probably seen it at Chapters or your local bookstore, or as a recommendation on Amazon if you've ever purchased a self-help book, because that book is awesome. But I heard about this book because I heard Jen Sincero on a podcast. I don't remember which one, but she was on a podcast talking about how, she wrote You Are a Badass. But when she wrote her second book, You Are a Badass at Making Money, this is the book she actually wanted to write. So I didn't pick up You Are a Badass and read it. I picked up You Are a Badass at Making Money first, which is her green book, okay, her second one. And I read it cover to cover. So the first thing that hooked me in with this book was her sense of humor. This woman is a stand-up comedian, I tell you. She's writing a self-help book, making fun of herself and where she was, and using that humor to get us through, because she admits self-help books are pretty dry, right? They're always, a little preachy or unrealistic, or there's too much like deep work. She lays it all out, and she's cutthroat, and she's honest, and she doesn't sugarcoat, and she makes sure to add humor and tell stories, which actually got me through the whole thing. Okay, so when I read You Are a Badass at Making Money, I tripled my income. And it's not because she throws in a whole bunch of tips about how to sell or how to lay out your pricing or how to find higher paying clients. That's not what this book is about. No, this book is about how you think about money. how you perceive your own value, the money mindset that you have that probably isn't even yours. It was passed down from you generation to generation to generation. So this book is also a little bit woo-woo in my opinion, which attracted me and didn't really attract the woo-woo. I feel like they aren't realistic. They're not grounded in actionable steps that I can take to actually change my life and my business. But she pairs it perfectly. So it's woo-woo, it's funny, and for some reason, it worked. Now, I can't teach you what she taught me because I feel like when you read the book, it's your own journey that you go on. And it's not a short one. It's something that's going to resonate with you for a while, but it will make you aware of how you think about money. Some of the exercises that she gets you to do, for example, are all about you realizing that you deserve money. Money is not bad. There should be no shame or guilt associated with money. And I'm a person, I'll tell you right now, I grew up without a lot of money. Okay, my parents were young when they had me and my twin sister, and they didn't have like a huge paycheck with their jobs. They were definitely paycheck to paycheck family. And when I look at my life now, I'm like, wow, that something had to change in order for me to be making what I earn right now to how I grew up and what I thought money was. And I don't want to get too deep into my story, but I used to think people who have money are bad, or people that have money, man, they must have done something weird to get it, because I saw my parents work really hard and they didn't get a lot of money. So, and my parents are good people. So I had a lot of beliefs about money that I didn't even realize I had. So when you read this book, there's going to be a chapter that's going to hit you. And it's going to hit you like a smack in the face or a slap in the ass, like Jen Sincero would say, where you're going to realize you are worth a lot of money. What you do is valuable. It will make you want to increase your prices. Okay, she does talk about, how to value your services, how to value your time and your energy. And I hope that when you get to that chapter, you can sit down and look at your current price list or look at how you do sales for your business and realize that you've been underestimating your own darn self, which gives permission to everybody else to do it too. So like I said, the month that I read You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, I tripled my income. I did it because I ran sales calls differently. I spoke differently about my offers and my services. I believed deep down that I was worth more than what I was previously charging because she got me to do the work. And it was very entertaining, I just have to say. So that is the first book I tell all of my clients to read because I want them to fix their money mindset. I want them to approach sales from a very positive perspective. If you don't feel deep down inside that you are worth it, the people that you are selling to aren't going to feel it either. So this is the book I read. Again, it's not too woo-woo. It does have a lot of funny stories and practical tips and advice. Actually, every chapter of this book ends with a success story because she is a coach, right? So she's coached a lot of people to make a lot of money. And like herself, she's made a lot of money. She went from living in a garage to living in like a beautiful lake house in California, I think. So she's done a lot. And the success stories after every chapter give you the understanding that maybe somebody like me with a similar business, similar mindset, similar limiting beliefs, if they can do it, I can do it. So I loved the You're a Badass at Making Money is the first one. Then how on earth did I find this second book right after? I feel so lucky that I picked up that book and then ordered this one right after because they pair so friggin' well. Again, the second book is written by another female coach. I'd say she's a life coach, business coach. She's the founder of B School, which is the online business program, like the OG for online business courses online. And she does a million other things too. She's a dancer. She went to school for other things. She is a multi-passionate person. She is Marie Forleo. Okay, Marie Forleo. If you have never heard her name before, you're welcome. Start Googling this girl, start following her on Instagram, check out her website, because she is inspiration embodied. Okay, so she wrote a book called Everything is Figureoutable. And I picked it up, I think, because I loved the title, and I had heard Marie speak a few times already. She has her own YouTube and her own podcast, and she gives out really good actionable advice. But then lately her advice, her words have been hitting me on a deeper level, very inspiring level, aspirational level, that made me realize that sure, like up leveling your business could mean redoing your website or rebranding or having a brand new social media content strategy. But if you really want to make a really big impact on your business, you need to up level the CEO, the owner, the founder of the business. And that's you. And that's what Marie will get you to do with this book. Everything is Figureoutable. I picked it up because of the title. And also, I believed it. Is Figureoutable. I believe that if somebody else can do it, I can do it too. I just need to figure out how. Okay. And that's where she starts the book from. She tells a story about her mom fixing a clock. Her mom's not a clock fixer. She doesn't have a degree in fixing clocks, which is funny because that's what my father-in-law does. He's a clock master. But anyway, she talks about how her mom she didn't know how to do things, but she believed if other people can do it, I can do it too. And what a gold belief to instill in a child. So Marie took that and ran with it and wrote this book. I want to read to you just something from the very beginning, because I think I can't really put it into words, but she did. So this is why you should read this book, why it's important that you read this book now if you're an entrepreneur. Listen to this. So Everything is Figureoutable will change your life. You can use it to solve mundane problems like a busted washing machine or a flat tire. You can use it to build a company, reshape your health, or create financial freedom. You can use it to save or end a relationship, or create the most magnificent, passionate love story of your dreams. You can use it to find your way out of chronic stress, grief, anger, depression, addiction, anxiety, hopelessness, and debt. You can use it to invent a breakthrough technology, learn a new language, become a better parent, or a stronger leader. Most important, you can use this idea with others in your family, organization, team, industry, community, or the world to create a positive and significant change. She wrote it. I believe it. I got sucked in right away with this book. She also says that she hits this book off hard at the beginning by saying, yet there can be no significant change in the world unless we first have the courage ourselves. In order to change ourselves, we must first believe we can. So she hits home with some of the woo-woo stuff at the beginning, but gets very actionable. At the end of every chapter, she gives you homework, which I love. It's like, don't just read this book, do this book. Yes, I know you're thinking, oh, another self-help book with journaling prompts. It's better than that. But it paired so well when I read, you are a badass at making money, and then Everything is Figureoutable. If you want to make money, if you want to make a lot of money with your business, these two women will convince you of it and put you in the right mindset to go after your dreams. So Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. It's a little bit thicker, still really easy to read. She's got a clever wit as well. I love when women just are funny and they own it. And the chapters are very digestible. There's even a whole chapter here. I think this one was my favorite, on progress, not perfection. And she quotes really great people throughout the entire book that led me to go and read other books or find other people's shows or podcasts. So she's definitely well read, been there, done that, built a successful career for herself on a multi-passionate level. So not just by doing one thing and getting hyper-focused, Marie does a lot of things, which I really appreciate and love, okay? Successful women doing more than one thing. I love it. So those are the two books I tell all of my clients to go and read, because you can up-level, like I said, you can rebrand your entire business to look super professional and attract the right person. You can create a brand new website with all new copy. You can go and create a brand new social media content strategy, offer suite for your business. All of that will up-level your business, and I'm here to help you. But if you don't up-level yourself first, there's gonna be a disconnect somewhere, and your audience, your future clients, your followers, they're gonna see it, okay? So I don't really want to tell the whole transformation story of where my business was in year 1 to where I am now in year 3, but I hope if you've been following me, if you've been listening to the show even, or following me on social media, I hope that you have seen a significant difference in how I started to how I am now. And that's just the evolution of progress, right? That's just me learning, implementing what Jen Sincero and Marie Forleo have taught me. I highly recommend going back, and once you read the books, I highlight them. I take post-it noties. You're gonna want to give them to your friends. I think I've like given these books out to many people and gotten them back, but gifting these books to people that are entrepreneurs, money makers, future CEOs, like give them these books because they are definitely going to change lives. So if you have any questions about those 2 books, or questions for me about how they impacted me, send me a message on Instagram. You can find me at Ashley Avis Co. I love Instagram the best. I feel like it's the best place for me to connect. And it allows me, when you send me a message saying that you're listening to the show, I like to go over to your account, follow you, and see what you're all about, and figure out ways that I can create more content that will help you make sure that you show up online as your true and best self. So this was all about up-leveling your business mindset. I don't talk about it a lot, but I want to talk about it more because I think it's really important. So if you have questions, send them my way. In ashley.avismarketing.com/podcast, you can get the links to the 2 books that I recommend. And if you want to make any recommendations to books you think I should read next, again, send me a message on Instagram, because I'm not reading much right now, and I definitely want a new summer read. So, until next Tuesday, you got this.
Thank you for listening to the Ashley Avis podcast. If you liked what you heard today, you can like, subscribe, or even better, tell a friend about my show. Think you would make a great guest? Reach out and send me a message on Instagram. You can find me at Ashley Avis Co. You can grab all of today's show notes at ashley.avismarketing.com. Plus, find more ways to simplify, strategize, and show up with confidence when marketing and selling online. Until next Tuesday, you got this. You got this.